So today's plan is to see how far I can get up the River Tamar under sail only, and today we're going with full rig. The wind is about the same as it was at the weekend, so in the Sound I'd probably need a reef, but we'll see how far we get. And it's not as sunny, so there's not a lot of wind behind the island, surprisingly enough. I'm trying to find where the current is, take me upriver. So at the moment I'm making about 3 knots over the ground. Okay, so I'm now through the bridge, not the bridges, Devil's Point, and we're now heading up the Tamar. Hopefully I got a bit of tide with me. I'm currently doing 3.5 knots, which is not a great deal. Over on the starboard side is the naval dockyard. I could give a commentary, but it'd take too long. Okay, that's the 2 chain link ferries going across the Tamar, and looks like I've timed it right because they should be out of my way by the time I want to cross their chains.
55, long.
And we're coming up to the Tamar bridges, railway and road. And we're just going past Jupiter Point. Okay, we're coming up to the Tamar bridges. Currently doing about 4.5 knots. Just about to exit the River Tamar mudflats near the confluence of the River Tavy. And this is the last green mark marking the channel. So we're chuntering along at about 5.3 knots. There we go. We're just coming up the river now, and we're coming up to Weir Quay and Hole's Hole, and we're just trying to keep into the deep water channel because now the tide is about to turn and it gets very muddy and very sticky if you're not in the channel. Okay, so I managed to get up about as far as Hole's Hole, or just past, but the tide's now dropping. So we're going to start heading back down towards Plymouth again and try and avoid all the mudflats that are up here. So we're now heading south. We're just past Car Green, and the tide is definitely going out and the wind has picked up, so we're now getting a bit more chop. So this is why I normally like to do a run on the way home rather than having to tack. So yeah, it's quite, it's going to be quite wet, I think. Not quite wet enough to get a jacket out yet, but getting there. At the moment, I'm tacking down the river. Keep going until the echo sounder reads about 3.5 meters, which gives me enough time to get out of any shallows. Okay, so like I said before, the weather has picked up a bit. Should really put a reef in probably, but I'm not prepared to do it while I'm sitting over these mud flats on a falling tide, so we'll just have to put up with it. Just coming back up underneath the bridges. Just heard a weather report from Longroom saying it's about 16-17 knots at the breakwater. I think it might be about that up here, possibly a little bit more. But obviously under the bridge it gets a bit squirrely, so got to be careful. Just tearing it down to Tamar at the moment. Approximately 7.3 knots on my GPS echo sounder thingy.
Long wind.
Don't think we're in danger of breaking the maximum speed here. But you can see how much tide there is next to the post. Okay, we've now got a reef in. We're just about to head out into the Western Channel and see how bad it is. It's probably going to be quite bad. I can see already that there's plenty of chop, and because we've got wind against tide again, as we did the previous day. So yeah, we'll give it a go. We'll give it a couple of minutes to see if I can handle it or not. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's pretty choppy. So we're now heading back inside Plymouth Sound. A bit of a run, making about just under 4 knots. So we're just going to find some shelter behind Plymouth Breakwater, hove to, and have a comfort break. Not that you needed to know that, but there you go. Drifting along at the moment, hove to, and at the moment we've got 1.5 knots in the heading on the display, and we've got quite a tide running out at the moment, so that's why we're not going too fast. Yeah, so we're just heading back home now. It's been quite a day. That's me back on my mooring, about 6 hours 45 minutes after setting off, all the way up Tamar, back down again when the tide ran out, back down to Tamar, out to Plymouth Sound, went outside Plymouth Sound for a little bit, and yeah, safely back on a mooring, and yeah, good day.